Well, g'day everybody. So I'm hoping this is going to be working okay. We're back in Les Arbres and I'm running off my phone internet here at the moment, plugged in, hardwired and stuff, and it looks like it's signal's fluctuating. So if it doesn't work, we'll try again later on from the office. We finally got here about 2 o'clock this morning. The train hit an animal or something. The train in front of us hit an animal, so the train was delayed. And long story, get back, and the car battery is flat because Lutz borrowed it and left the lights on. And so, anyway, Rob Gorman's fixed us up with that. And we're sort of organised, but the place is a mess, absolute trash. Been away 3 months. There's lots to do. Anyway, sorry we missed yesterday. We're in the plane flying, and I'm not sure. I've got to work out what time we will settle this down for a regular transmission of the tracker update. I'll work that out this weekend. In the meantime, today and tomorrow, we're just sticking it up as soon as we can make something happen, because there's a lot going on for us here, setting up the office again and so on. So here we are, and lots happening. It's been funny, we've been glued to the tracker every time we could when we're in between flights and stuff, and very interesting. So I'm going to swap straight over to the tracker, and let's see what it looks like. Jane's monitoring this, so if we're not getting audio or if it's slowing down, so be it. But the fleet is certainly scattered. The first thing that hits me is no one's using a routing program and following the best advice from satellite weather. They're all making their own decisions, and it's very interesting to see what's going on. So I'm not sure when the latest was here. What do we got? This is 8 o'clock UTC. So that's 9 o'clock here, and it's 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. We're 5 minutes off a new update on the tracker. I should have waited 5 minutes by the look of it. It's coming up at 1 o'clock. Oh, that's a bugger. Oh boy, why didn't I think of that? There you go. We're about to get a new spot, but we'll review them over the past session. So that would be potentially 8 hours ago, because the last 4 hours is about to pop up. It's kind of interesting because look at Sterner there. I can't work out why they're doing 1.3 knots. That'll change dramatically in a minute when the new position comes up, because they've got pretty solid winds, but just not going fast. And Explorer, this is really interesting because you look at, okay, the wind direction, there's the gradient there. It's coming from it's pretty much a northeasterly. And you look at the course that Triana's holding, racing really hard, 6.9 knots, and they're heading in this direction, okay? You look at Explorer, and they're much more comfortable heading in this direction. So they're always 10, 15 degrees cracked off to keep the boat comfortable. But anyway, they've been moving okay, 7.4 knots. Get on out there. There's Evrika and White Shadow, cross tacks. That could have been interesting. Crossing over. Looks as if they would have seen each other for sure if it was daylight, and could have got very close. Another one over here between Spirit of Helsinki and Neptune, which is interesting for them as well. So back then, Evrika was doing 6 knots, 6.1, did 77 mile a day, and that's White Shadow rather, 6.1 knots, 77 mile a day, and Evrika 5.6 knots, 62 mile a day. So they haven't been making big progress. They've been struggling to get underway, and the group's still very close together. 7 knots for L'Esprit de Keep, 72 nautical mile a day, 7.4 for Galliano with Secure, and 77 mile a day. Penjuic and Translated still heading out to the east, 8.1 for Translated, 8.1 and 112 mile a day. Penjuic, 112 as well, exactly the same on top of each other, doing the same speeds. Outlaw, 6.9, 111 mile a day. So Outlaw is doing pretty well when you look at the issue there. Outlaw's right up with Penjuic and Translated. So strange results. And to give you a distance perspective, just to show how far away they are, so Penjuic and Explorer, 250 miles. So that's a good day if they were catching up, a bit more than a day for Explorer. Then, so it's still early days. If we look at where Punta is, Punta's there. So they've only been struggling. Punta, 525 miles from the start. And today's Saturday, and they left on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days, and they've only done about 520 miles. So still a long story to be told between now and the finish. Before I'll drop that there, I'm just waiting for I think the positions will roll over in a minute. So let's look at the big picture for the weather. And you can see it's all driven by this high pressure system there. Just adjust my computer. So there's this high here. That's the whole influence, and they're all on the western side of the high. So they've basically got headwinds wherever they want to go. Not a lot happening with the trade winds. The southeasterly trades are not really established because there's no distinct South Atlantic high yet. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle. I think this weather system that they're in now is going to dominate for quite some time. I'm just pushing it through. So there you've got all the various strength of headwinds, the high slowly moving over, and then it's just going to be light rubbish again. So this is now the 10th, so this is by tomorrow. You can see here the fleet's going to move up into this mix, and then it's still the rollover of the what should be the southeasterly trades, because the high has come up a little bit, and so that's still going to give generally a headwinds for those guys out to the east. But the guys that are on the inside here, I think they might get lucky. They're going to have a bit of a boost here, because you can see the wind is coming up from behind, and even when they sneak up the coast here, there's a hook, so that's a beam reach. So if they're, I mean, it's a long way to go, and we're only one day into it, but let's just see how that carries through. So there's the 11th. Wow, it's all a bit of a mix. Wow, jeepers. That's light winds, light frustrating winds, and then there's headwinds again. So it's going to be a slow ride up to the doldrums, that's for sure. So that's a couple of days from now. A couple of days is, say, 300 miles maybe. Let's see. Just work out where 300 miles is. Why is that not hitting home here? Okay, so we've got one there. Okay, 300 miles for the fleet. If you're lucky, they're going to be up here. So they've still got headwinds all the way. Normally, you'd think here it wouldn't be quite so dramatic, so like quite so in front of them. You know, it should be coming out here somewhere. So that's suggesting a very slow going. Keep pushing it through. Wow, there's no wind. Very little wind. And then it's starting to form up. Okay, here comes you can see here now, well, this is on the 13th, you're starting to get a South Atlantic high maybe forming, and that's starting to develop the trade winds a little bit, maybe. Yeah, but it's still generally light. Wow, not very strong at all. That's going to play interesting dividends with the doldrums as well. Anyway, we should have new positions by now. Yes, they've just rolled over. So now that I've wasted all your time there, let's just have a look and see what they're doing right now. At least you've got them all on the one page, so that's good. Okay, Sterner, 4.9 now. And that's, here we go. That's why it was looking crazy. Okay, plenty of solid breeze there. That's probably 25, gusting even 30. And sea state could be up to about 3 meters. So quite challenging, quite wet. 4.9 knots. That's definitely as hard on the breeze as they can go. And you look at the course again compared to Explorer. You know, they're coming down here somewhere. You look at Explorer, just bailing out. You know, they don't like getting spray over the deck, I think. Anyway, doing 6 knots and 6 knots and 47 mile day. So Sterner, 4.9 knots, 51 mile day. Just the course difference is very obvious there. You got to try and keep holding it up. White Shadow and Avrika still side by side, looking at each other possibly. 3.2 knots, holding high. That's really amazing. 65 mile day. It might not be as strong there as it is further towards the coast. White Shadow 5.7 knots, 79 mile day, slowly overtaking Avrika. L'Esprit de Keep 7.1 knots and 75 mile day. They'll be happy with the speed. These guys going to windward have got a lot better conditions because there's less wind. So the sea state will be down as well. Galliano is secure, exactly the same as L'Esprit de Keep. That's very interesting. 85 mile day. So they've done 10 miles in the last 24 hours more than L'Esprit de Keep, which is very surprising. So Spirit of Helsinki, 8.1 knots, 125 mile day. in these conditions, bigger boat, longer waterline, they're obviously more comfortable and they can climb higher to windward and so on than L'Esprit de Keep or Galiana. Neptune, 7.9 knots, 96-mile day. Outlaw, 7 knots. And then we've got Translated 9, 8 knots. And Penduic, 8.3, 102-mile day. And Translated 101-mile day. Something tells me that Translated is covering Penduic. They don't want to let them go. So that's interesting. Maiden's tacked down, 7 knots, 91-mile day. Of course, the sailing distance is relevant to distance towards the finish. They've probably travelled more than that through the water. And Triana is 7.4 knots and 89-mile day. So right now, it's really just a case of they're all struggling north. It's a bit pointless looking at the IRC positioning because here's the track. This is the run line. And it really means nothing right now. They're scrambling all over the place. It's early days, so I'm not even going to worry about going through that. It's as if they're struggling to find their positioning. And so you can see, these guys are out to windward. So if they were to tack now, they'd be tacking across here and could very well climb. Oh, well, no, they're not really to windward. Maiden's still looking pretty good. No question about that. And Triana's looking exceptionally good. and so on. So it's still, very interesting. Okay, just to please all those who said, oh no, show us the leaderboard. Line honours is Maiden, Spirit of Helsinki, Outlaw, Penduic, Translated 9, and so it goes down the line. L'Esprit de Keep, and I wonder who's picking up the rear. Probably Sterner and there we go. Boom. So Vrika, Sterner, and Explorer. So all cool. And Explorer's got distance to the finish just under 6,000 miles, 5,925. And so just under 6,000. Distance to the finish for Maiden, 5,721. So a couple hundred miles in front of Explorer. Now IRC, just to see how it's going. Leg 3. I'm not worried about combined at the moment. So this is leg 3. All very slow towards the finish. So the corrected elapsed time is very large, as if they've got another 55 days to go. But Maiden is looking pretty good. She's 6 hours in front of Triana. So, all things considered, because I always maintain going to windward, it's not for Maiden. Maiden's not a bad boat to windward, but it's not as good as Triana should be. So Maiden's doing particularly well on that ground, on that basis. I'm surprised they're up there on IRC, but also they've got the break made some good weather choices in their course, so that's helping it. Outlaw, 56 days and 20 hours. So that's 1 day and 3 hours behind Triana. Hard to catch up that one. Then it's Translated. Then Neptune. And so it goes. Penduic is way down the bottom here. It's 62 days. So quite a bit of ground to catch up. But obviously, Marie would be very happy just to get line honours on this. And she's being chased down by Spirit of Helsinki and Translated and so on. So fun to watch. Okay, I think we've pretty much covered off on that. We could look at just interested to look at the currents and so on before we get out of here, because they're still in the region of currents, and we'll get an idea of their sea state. Raleigh Tasca sails there. Ooh, good sails. Temperature. Boom. Okay, so then the 25s, 26, be getting up to 26 degree water temperature now. That's kind of cool. Cloud cover, what do we got? Oh, that's surprising. There is a bit of cloud over on the inshore track with that breeze coming from the northwest. Northeast rather. That happens with a northerly. You often get that. As soon as it goes down to the southeast, it'll clear. But they've got cloud cover right now. And then the currents, here we go. That's quite solid there. So you can see Maiden's just about to get hooked up in this big northerly. Triana's still getting affected. Explorer's getting popped down. The others over here, there's not so much current. They're pretty much in the clear. So, and looking at the big picture, hit one down here. Boom. Okay, so you can see those currents are quite in close, and you either get the counter current right along the beach, or you just get hit by bits. Rio de Janeiro there. Look at that blue patch. That's a big one. So not a lot out here. So yeah, not a lot of effect. And sea state, we didn't look at the waves. Let's look at that. Get it up here. Yeah, it's pretty jumpy there. That's 3 to 4 over here. It's sort of 1.5 to 2.5. And you can obviously go to windward better when it's less of a sea. So an explorer, not sure, going down to Cape Town, I think. I give them a hard time there. But anyway, that's cool. All right, I think we're done. And I'll come back now to here and see where we are there. Just pull that back. And I can say g'day to those that picked up on this unscheduled time, but it's actually a good time because there is the new update at 1 o'clock. So this may be the time for the future, a 1 o'clock tracker. We'll just see how that goes. I think I've only got four comments. Okay, Maiden seems to have made a good choice. Absolutely, Maiden's looking very good. G'day, Mike and Gay. Say g'day all along the time. Yeah. Okay, that's it. We'll get back to cleaning up and go and buy some food. We're down to baked beans. Look, here's my breakfast. See, pretty cool. Heinz baked beans. The freezer melted while we were away, so everything in the freezer turned to mush, but then refroze again. And I won't talk about the mold places. So it's just like coming back to a boat, I suppose. All right, that's it. That's me done. We'll see you tomorrow, and I'll probably try for this time again. I think it's a good time. So that's 1 o'clock local time, France. That means it's 12 midday in UK, and that's sort of UTC as well. So this could be it. So stand by. You might see me tomorrow. And the signal strength looks really weak right now, so I don't even know whether it's still going. Anyway, see you later. Have a good weekend. And the fleet looks happy, sort of.